It came to light for y'all that this dude wanted me dead way before I came to YouTube.
I'm not the type of dude that you can come up on like.
Bro, listen. We out here
what kind of content?
You're not gonna tell me what to do.
You can't come up on me.
Bro, listen.
If you come up on me, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out.
That's what I say.
That's what I say. No, bro.
Gene Deal has been catching heat from some of Diddy's supporters ever since he chose to speak out. But now Katt Williams is stepping in with firm vocal backup. While conversations and speculation around past clashes involving Diddy, Gene and Katt have surfaced before, this new wave of attention is once again centering on Gene, with observers suggesting he may be facing renewed pressure. The atmosphere keeps tightening, the voices are getting louder, and the unfolding story shows no signs of slowing down.
What did you do to him first inside the courtroom?
Lady.
What did you do to Mr. Gene Deal inside the courtroom right before my eyes? And why did I have to get in your face like this and tell you to step back from him? Why did I have to stand in front of Mr. Deal behind me and tell you to back up off of him?
Because it was two men handling business.
And then what happened? But what happened?
That's for me to know.
But what did you do? So why are you not telling the truth? My name is Candor. I'm transparent. I'm true. C-A-N-D-O-R.
With you, sweetheart. I can't.
But you didn't have the same energy with him when he came outside either.
When he came outside, he left.
Man, get out of here.
He left. He left, yo. What are you talking about?
What he look like telling somebody to whoop my ass? He didn't tell him that. He wanted me in the dirt and was trying to rock me to sleep. He knew where I was at.
Roger Bonds, who previously worked as part of Diddy's security team, has publicly alleged that Diddy pressured his crew to confront Gene Deal, claims that Gene has said align with his own experiences. In a recent video, Gene explained that he's been moving more carefully and steering clear of certain places because he feels his safety could be at risk. Behind the scenes, there are ongoing whispers suggesting that significant pressure may be at play, with many observers believing Gene is under close watch, adding even more tension to an already complicated situation.
Way before I came to YouTube. Because I was having meetings with serious dudes in the street. And he refused to sit down. So what did he do? He tell his security team. He didn't tell the NYPD officers. He didn't tell the Department of Correction officers. He didn't tell none of the parole officers or anybody he had working for him that was officers. He told street dudes who had did dirt in the street. When y'all see Gene, y'all do him dirty. Y'all beat him up. He ain't tell him to beat me up. What I look like getting beat up? What a grown man look like? Somebody smacking him around, hitting him and all this shit like that. I ain't taking no ass whooping. I ain't took an ass whooping since the fucking doctor spanked me on my fucking ass. I ain't took an ass whooping since my mom and my daddy. When they stopped taking it, I guess I'm got amnesia. I don't know what an ass whooping look like or feel like.
Some observers believe the situation may run deeper than it appears, suggesting that the pressure surrounding Gene Deal isn't only about him, but also about projecting control. Yet Gene remains unfazed, steady, outspoken, and unwilling to bend. He continues to assert that he won't be silenced or influenced, no matter what outside forces or rising tension may imply, standing firm in his belief that he has every right to speak his truth.
I said, if you want me to answer questions, do interview. I got a booking number, then you do interview. I answer any of your questions. I ain't got no problem of answering anything that you want to know. All you got to do is pay my fee and I'll be there. He said, well, you ain't going to tell me how to get the contact. And as soon as he said that, and he came like he was coming close to me, I took it back to 92. Wu-Tang, protect your neck. And that's all I'm gonna say. I took it back to that. I took it back to 1992 Wu-Tang, protect your neck. and he know what I'm talking about. Then when I did that, then next thing you know, a girl came, the guards started coming and stuff like that, and he told the guards, yo, watch the camera. He hit me. That's what he said to the guard. So one guard was like this. One guard got in front of me and I moved. He said, yo, Gene. He said, yo, Gene, because he know me. He said, yo, Gene, you could just knock me down, bro. Just take a couple of days and get up out of here. And so I was leaving. So he ran and got his camera, and then somebody called my name. He called my name like that. I turned around and I just said to him, I said, yo, bro, I'm not that dude that you could just run up on. I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say. I'm a grown man. You understand? I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say to, because if you run up on me, I'm going to knock you the F out. And that's how that went, bro. And there's nothing I'm proud of. You understand? But you don't talk to grown men. I don't care what kind of YouTube show you got. I don't care what kind of, you want to go viral, you want to do this and you want to do that. You conduct yourself as a gentleman. You want to call yourself a reporter. You don't see all the reporters who went to school. You don't see all the reporters who got their degrees, who got, you know, who worked up the ladder to become who they are, yelling and screaming and cursing and saying all kind of crazy shit to people. You don't see that. But if that's what you choose to do, you choose to do that.
For years, Gene Deal felt that this moment was inevitable, saying he sensed pressure to stay quiet and even heard from people who urged him to stop discussing private matters. According to Gene, those warnings carried weight, especially given the reputation of influential circles for defending their image forcefully. In the entertainment world, powerful figures rarely remain passive when their narratives are questioned, and many observers point to Katt Williams as an example, noting how his outspoken nature has often been followed by difficult pushback.
Cool, man. How you doing?
I'm cooler than a fan, man. They took my children from me.
Yeah, I mean,
how terrible is that?
I did want to ask. The cops, allegedly found some guns and.
Yeah, they always find guns. I never leave without. My girlfriend. I'm on the middle of an interview, sir.
Sorry about. They found guns and drugs. Now, is
drugs?
That's what it was reported.
Sir, you can look at my paperwork. There was no drugs. Weed is not a drug.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that's safe for kids to be around guns and stuff like that? I mean, I'm just curious.
How do you keep this kid safe without guns? They were in a lockbox that the police broke.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm saying, if the police come in and raid my place and break into my gun boxes, you're gonna find guns. But these aren't. Well, I'm not in a gang. What difference does it make?
Now, you were actually stopped for this and let go. Because you have a license for it,
No,
right?
This is their 9th time coming to my house. The problem was this time they came to my office and took my kids from an office. Not from my house, from an office. So now when I can't have my kids at my office,
that's an issue.
I must be the most terrible black dude.
Roger Bonds has alleged that tension between Diddy and Gene Deal stretches back to around 2008, long before any official investigations surfaced. Gene had already spoken publicly about what he believed he witnessed behind the scenes and how he viewed Diddy's behavior. Gene later chose to walk away, saying he felt his knowledge put him in a difficult position and that his presence wasn't welcome. From that point on, Gene has continued to share his perspective, determined not to stay quiet and committed to bringing his experiences to light.
But he was like, yo, if y'all see Gene, I'm telling y'all, man, somebody better punch him in the face. Somebody better do something to him, man. He out here doing this, that. And we be like, all right.
Okay, so when was this? Because was Gene doing interviews at this point?
Yeah, we talking like 2008, 2009. Gene was spreading the word. You know, Gene was always bad-mouthing.
Wait, hold on. Vlad TV started in 2008, 2009. YouTube was really early.
No, he wasn't doing YouTube and stuff. He was going around talking a lot. And we all from Harlem. So he was just talking a lot of shit. And it's a small, Harlem is small.
So what was Gene Deal saying during that time? What did you hear?
He basically was talking about Puff and woman that was going on with him and Kim. Puff being gay, you know, with him and Usher, shit like that. He was talking the same shit that he's talking now on a major scale. But he was spreading it around Harlem. Okay. So it was basically a thing where, yo, if y'all see that, man, I'm telling y'all better hear he got hands put on him, this, that, and the other. But we seen it.
Tissa said that another creator reporting on Diddy was confronted by individuals who claimed to be his supporters right outside the courthouse. and they allegedly warned her that she could face pressure as well if she kept speaking out. According to Tissa, the incident appeared to be an attempt to intimidate her into staying quiet. And what unsettled her most was that it happened in full view of police, with no visible intervention.
Dog will holler. A hit dog will holler. A hit dog will holler. So listen, let me just tell you something, right? Because this is an interesting point that Lovely T actually point out. All the people with money, power, influences, Diddy's equal. They refuse to come and support this man because they know something was wrong. But there are a million broke, dusty, desperate bitch-ass men out here trying to bully women. It was a travesty. It was an all-out circus. Everybody, including myself, are running to safety.
I've got a question for you, Tissa Tells, and everyone's going to want to know this. You're in a car right now. You had to leave the courthouse. Why?
I had to leave the courthouse because Diddy's supporters were out of control. The first time I ran and did my live, of course, I had 2 armed security guys. Everyone told me, the people in the courthouse is like, make sure you have security. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. It wasn't just me, but I'll tell you what I experienced. Diddy's supporters surrounding me, threatening me, saying that they were going to hurt me. It was a serious situation. It got so bad and there was so much chaos and violence that they actually had to lock the courtroom down and force the Diddy supporters across the street. It was something myself, the news media, mainstream media, new media have never seen in their lives. The level, and again, the jurors, I hope to God they know how to sleep at night. Because again, I'm sure they did their duty. But when all that chaos was happening, as I was being threatened and ushered out by armed security people, I thought, this is what the jury did. They sent a signal that it is okay to use violence. It's okay to drug people up. It's okay to live a life of debauchery. It's okay to do whatever you want. Because guess what? If you work hard enough and you have enough money and enough delusional fans and you have ingrained yourself in culture enough that you can do whatever you want. And 12 of your peers will look the other way. Again, this jury was shocking.
Tissa Tells, when you say that Sean Combs supporters threatened you, what were they saying?
They were saying, you effing B, we're going to kill you, you effing B. Apparently I work for the feds. You're a plant. You made this all up because of you. Again, they're not too smart.
Tissa and Jean aren't the only voices feeling the weight of outside pressure. Last year, reports emerged that Jamie Foxx experienced a health scare, and when he spoke publicly afterward, complications seemed to follow. Observers have questioned whether it's mere coincidence that several individuals who challenged Diddy appear to encounter sudden difficulties. According to accounts, Jamie also required medical attention after an alleged run-in with someone connected to Diddy, adding another layer of tension to the unfolding story.
Actor Jamie Foxx was injured during an altercation at a Beverly Hills restaurant. Foxx is speaking out about the incident, which is being investigated by police. It comes just days after the Oscar winner revealed for the first time that a brain bleed caused him to suffer a stroke last year. Here's ABC's Phil Lipoff.
Tonight, actor Jamie Foxx is recovering after an altercation at his birthday dinner in Beverly Hills left him needing stitches. Local police received a call about an incident at the high-end Mr. Chow restaurant near Rodeo Drive just after 10 p.m. Friday night. A representative for the actor saying someone from another table threw a glass that hit Foxx in the face. It's unclear whether Foxx was involved in the fight or merely a bystander. No arrests were made, but the investigation remains ongoing. It has already been an eventful month for the Oscar winner. In his recently released Netflix stand-up special, Foxx opened up about the mysterious health crisis that put him in the hospital for several weeks last year.
I was fighting for my life, but I'm here in front of you.
Foxx telling the audience a doctor gave his family a grim diagnosis.
He told my sister some horrible news about her big brother. He said he's having a brain bleed has led to a stroke.
But now, the actor is proud he beat the odds.
I said I couldn't walk, but look at me now.
And Lindsay, Fox appears to be keeping this positive attitude through this latest incident, writing on social media this morning, "The devil is busy, but I'm too blessed to be stressed."
It appears, at least according to various commentators and the individuals involved, that those who speak out about Diddy's past often describe encountering serious challenges afterward, a perception reinforced by the case of Keith D, who publicly discussed his alleged knowledge of connections between Diddy and Tupac Shakur, and later experienced troubling incidents in prison that some observers characterized as suspicious rather than conclusively proven. His statements, which included unverified allegations of high-stakes financial dealings and framed Diddy as a person of interest in his narrative, have contributed to ongoing speculation and debate. Taken together, these accounts have led many to point out what they see as a striking and difficult-to-ignore pattern, one built on personal testimonies, interpretations, and unanswered questions rather than established fact.
We have an update now on Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. He's charged in the murder of Tupac Shakur. Davis was in court again this morning after a fight with another inmate. Fox 5's Mike Allen walks us through what happened.
Dwayne Davis is answering for a jailhouse brawl. Here's what court records show, along with images from surveillance video released by Las Vegas Justice Court. On December 23rd, Davis was being escorted back into his cell when another inmate, Rockland Hamilton, who's also facing a charge, is standing to the right by a sink in this room. Hamilton walked over to Davis and squared up, looking ready to fight. They started throwing punches and grappling, and the officer escorting Davis called for backup, gave verbal commands too for the inmates to stop fighting.
Big Homie. CC, a well-known celebrity security professional, has stated that he experienced several health scares after publicly criticizing Diddy. And in an interview on Piers Morgan Uncensored, he explained that these episodes left him feeling unsettled and concerned, suggesting that people who challenge Diddy sometimes find themselves facing unexpected or troubling circumstances. He emphasized that these are his personal perceptions, not verified facts, and went on to mention that certain sudden events, such as the tragic passing of Kim Porter, have led him to wonder whether everything was purely coincidental, raising questions in his mind about whether unseen influences might be shaping outcomes behind the scenes, while acknowledging that these thoughts reflect his own suspicions rather than confirmed evidence.
This sounds familiar. You know, along this path, I've been poisoned 3 times. My toxicology report showed cyanide, and cyanide metabolizes into pneumonia in your body. So I've had pneumonia on 3 occasions. And these problems didn't start for me until I started to speak out about people like this. It's been a hard time to line up this interview because the last time I was scheduled to be in this interview, randomly, our car gets hit from the side by a blacked out vehicle, no license plate. That's happened 3 times this month so far.
Really?
Somebody didn't want me to do this interview. Yeah, somebody didn't want me to do this interview. I'm somebody where I've had FBI come to my house before and tell me they found a threat against my life. So, I'm well versed in this world. But I got round the clock security. One of them was sitting right here with me right now. This is a dangerous game people are playing, and it's a good feeling for me to see the justice system prevail. And some people deserve retribution.
You clearly feel that Sean Combs over the years has made people disappear.
Right. Well, Pierce, let me ask you a question. From your journalistic perspective, have you ever noticed how in this industry, people untimely meet their demise as soon as somebody else seems like they're having a problem? Have you ever seen that before?
Well, there was, of course, the case of one of his other ex-girlfriends, Kim Porter, who died of pneumonia at a very young age. You just referenced your own situation with pneumonia that you believe was deliberate poisoning. Do you believe that may be what happened to her?
Why are so many people coming down with pneumonia? Why is that happening to everybody? What is that about? Where have you ever seen this many cases of pneumonia associated with one situation? So,
there were rumors.
I'm not saying.
Well, I was going to mention on this that there have been rumors circulating online that Diddy may have poisoned Jamie Foxx, which caused his 2023 hospitalization. In his Netflix show, he compared Combs to the devil in revealing his near-death experience after a brain bleed and stroke. He said, I say this all the time. I saw the tunnel. I didn't see the light. It was hot in that tunnel. Have I gone to the wrong place? I looked at the end of a tunnel and I thought I saw the devil saying, come on, or was that Puffy?
Despite the mounting pressure surrounding him, Gene remains unwavering and resolute, consistently emphasizing in numerous interviews that neither Diddy nor his supporters possess the power to intimidate him or sway his stance. Determined to speak his truth and unflinching in his convictions, he refuses to stay silent, fully aware that he has witnessed too much to retreat now that the spotlight is squarely on him. Even recent incidents occurring outside the courthouse, which could have unsettled many, have done little to shake his determination, as he recognizes that any attempts at intimidation are unlikely to deter someone so firmly committed to standing his ground and speaking openly about what he has seen.
And God knows I could bodyguard myself with his blessings. I could bodyguard myself with his blessings, bro. I'm not worried about that. Nothing beats an ambush, and I know that. But I'm not worried about his shit. People just need to talk about something. They want to have something to say, man. Oh, Gene got to be worried, something like that. So, shouldn't I have been worried when he was out here on the street? When he was out here on the street, I should have been worried. Yo, bro, August the 14th, 1999. High-speed chase in Harlem. You understand? I didn't know that he didn't send nobody after me then. Because niggas do that shit. They'll send somebody at you. I've seen dudes that do shit and they have niggas right there in the same clique and they didn't even know he did it. So how I know those 4 guys, 5 guns to my head wasn't sitting by him. When Roger Bonds come and say later that Diddy wanted something done to Gene Deal. How I know?
Even before the trial began, Gene says he could feel the mounting pressure to stay silent, a tension that only intensified while Diddy was incarcerated, during which Gene claims he received calls from individuals close to him that subtly hinted at attempts to influence or enforce his silence. Having spent more than a decade in Diddy's inner circle, Gene says he fully understands the high stakes involved and what he believes Diddy is capable of. Yet, despite the looming threats and the palpable atmosphere of intimidation, he remains resolute and undeterred, standing firm in his convictions and refusing to be cowed by the forces around him.
Or tried to get you to stop talking about him.
This is relayed to me by Kirk Burrows. This guy is like this with Diddy. You seen him on Drink Champs with him. You seen him walking the streets in Miami with him. The whole 9 yards. So I'm saying to him, what does he want to talk to me for? He ain't got enough to say. He ain't got nothing to say to me. He said, yo, Gene, he said enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Enough is enough to what? And I told Kirk Burrows, I said, yo, if he wanted, I said, he don't want to talk to me for himself. He wants to talk to me for Diddy. And I ain't got nothing to say to him. He ain't said enough is enough to Wolf Mother when he cursed out and told her all kinds of shit. Did he say enough is enough to Big's mother? What do you mean enough is enough? And that's how that conversation went.
How did you feel about it after you were done?
I felt that, like, because they must have got at Kirk Burrows, because Kirk called me with the bullshit. Yo, you gotta fix that. You know this, man. God, excuse me. Listen here, bro. I don't care nothing about none of these industry cats and what they do and how they do it. That's their business. You understand? I don't tell a man how to screw his wife and how to spend his money. You don't tell me what I gotta do with my time. Point blank.
Do you feel like at some point Diddy could try to come after you or do something, being that he's went after a lot of people, he's did a lot of stuff.
What happens with exposures? You make yourself vulnerable to all kinds of attacks, seen and unseen. What happened to my friend? When he passed away, there was $250,000 on my head and $150,000 on his. But what if I had decided to go back with my head held low and said, Sean, I'm willing to play the game, and then found a way to get inside of him and move him around?
Circulating in the media claim that Diddy has allegedly tried to pressure or intimidate individuals who speak out against him. Allegations that Gene Deal says help explain why he began receiving what he describes as warnings and subtle cautionary messages from people in his orbit, painting a broader picture of the tense environment he believes surrounded those willing to voice concerns.
As news came out that his former bandmate from Dirty Money, she called the other group member Dunn 58 times trying to get her to stop the lawsuit against Diddy.
She ain't the only one he was trying to get in contact with. You understand? He sent somebody through somebody else to try to get in contact with me, telling me enough is enough. Oh, okay. You tell Big Mama that enough is enough. You can't tell Wolf Mama enough is enough. You tell D Ferg Mama enough is enough. You understand? You tell all those people who supported you and they survivors, enough is enough.
You didn't tell me about that. So he tried to get somebody to reach out to you?
No, I got a phone call from Kirk Burroughs. And Kirk Burroughs, and I ain't gonna even get this guy no play. Not Kirk Burroughs, but one of the Puff dudes that I know that's real close to him said, Kirk told me, yo, he want to reach out to you, Gene. He want to speak to you. I said, speak to me for what? What do you want to speak to me for? If he's trying to speak to me, it's for Puff. Point blank. I know the dude. I know how close he is to Puff. He's been with Puff from day one. So he ain't got nothing to say to me, bro. But Kirk Burroughs did say to me that the dude said enough is enough. When do it becomes enough?
Diddy's empire is under increasing pressure, and those he allegedly sought to silence are now speaking out with a courage and boldness that demand attention, turning long-held whispers into compelling, documented claims that are reshaping the narrative and shedding unprecedented light on the unfolding saga. First-hand accounts and emerging evidence are converging to paint a clearer, more intricate picture of the tensions at play, revealing layers of complexity that were previously hidden and suggesting that the story is far from over. This is just the opening act, and the chapters yet to come promise even more shocking revelations, twists, and developments, making it essential to stay tuned, follow every update closely, and witness how the drama continues to escalate and redefine the legacy of one of music's most influential figures.